All right. Guys, how's it going? How's it going? We're already too fucking high. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys, to the EleFaded podcast. This is episode 8 with Richard Luis. I am your host, Richard Luis. Today we have an amazing friend and a mentor of mine, and I feel like we've done this before. Feels like deja vu. And we have my amazing friend, mentor, coach. I've known him for the past 6 years. On episode 2 and 3, we had Jess, the co-owner of King Cobra MMA. We had Isaac de la Paz, the fighter over at King Cobra MMA. And today, we have Mr. Papa Cobra, Mr. King Cobra himself. We have Isaias Cobra of King Cobra MMA. Welcome,
How's
puppy.
it going, everybody?
Guys, we're getting pretty stoned right now, so fucking if you see us already slide-eyed, we're a little slide off.
Yeah, or all dry mouth and all. I'll be drinking some water occasionally, so that won't hurt the ears too much. But hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for having me, Rich.
Of course.
What was the name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, humor. You could call it Humorous 562.
Humorous 562.
That's right. He's in Downey too.
Oh yeah, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, he grew up there.
Come drink it.
Mm.
But yeah, you know, chilling here, living life, enjoying the devil's lettuce. So.
But I wanted to bring Coach up here because, you know, it's I've spent a lot of time with him in those 6 years, and you know, there was a year itself, even before COVID, so it was before COVID and during COVID, where, you know, I spent a lot of time at the gym with everybody, and Coach in particular, because, you know, I always enjoy just getting to experience people behind their own brand or like their own business, you know, just people in general. I love just talking to people, and talking with Coach has been one of the best things, man. It's been great because we've got to party together. We've got to just share drinks and eat food together. He's invited me over his house many of times to come and just relax and kick it. And, you know, I had the opportunity of bringing a lot of people over my house when we had something in Norwalk, just getting to share time together. And one thing that I enjoyed was the fact that the gym itself, as I mentioned on the past episodes, it's just a family culture that I needed myself, you know? And I always encourage people to kind of step out of your comfort zone and just talk to the gym goers there. And usually a martial arts gym or a CrossFit gym too, you know, something that's just centered around it depends, right? Something that's not centered around you just going to the gym and just doing your own shit. Like it happens, you know, like you go and do your own workout, you go do your own you go do your own thing, and it's fine. But once you find something that you're doing as a routine and you're doing it within a group setting, you find yourself coming out of your bubble and talking to the people there. And I loved the fact that, you know, it wasn't just me going up to them. They came, you know, they made you feel open and welcome. So I really enjoyed the fact that I can get that experience at King Cobra. And yeah, like I said, you know, Coach has been there for me through odd times too, you know, like where I've asked him if I can just come and kick it, and he's been like, yeah, dude, you're more than welcome to just come kick back. Don't even worry about the outside shit. Come kick it with us. They've had their gym for the past 10 years, so congratulations to you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
On 10 years. I know you were mentioning that it's you had a lot of naysayers at the beginning, but I'm really happy that you didn't pay attention, that you shoved it off, and you guys continue to push it through.
Yeah, I mean, as far as naysayers, you always have to have one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if everybody tells you how great everything is.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know. So
there would be no growth.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta embrace that. You gotta embrace some negative, but the majority positive. You know, because there's always gonna be negative no matter what. There's always gonna be bumpy roads. There's always gonna be pluses and negatives. So you just gotta get in that in between, and then keep going forward.
That's
so
good.
As far as the whole culture thing, though, yeah, I felt like we built a good culture there through trial and error. You know, because
yeah,
believe it or not,
that's true.
You know, it used to be a little too much. Right?
Yeah.
And now I feel like there's a balance, and you know, there's always time to have a good time with friends, but there's also time to be serious.
Yeah.
You know, and I think staying true to what you wanted to keep doing is discipline.
It could have easily went left
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
You know, but
a few times, but you guys, it's like you said, you're building that culture too. Like
Yeah.
it's you setting the tone for people and letting them know, like, not just the business part of it, but it's more of what you have as a goal for the gym.
yeah,
And so, that's great that you're still keeping that standard. Because I know it could have been a lot of times where it just would have went left or right, but you've managed to guide us through it too.
yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of young people, and me as a coach and also as a human, right? I'm growing and maturing as well.
Yeah.
So not everything is, now that I see things differently, like the fun times were fun times, but at the same time, like I said, discipline has to kick in. Because if you're not disciplined, you're not gonna succeed in anything.
Yeah.
You can wish and hope all you want, but if you don't do the work, well, there you go. There's nothing. You create nothing. All you create is something in your mind, and that's the majority that blocks people from achieving their goals.
Yeah.
Is listening to the motherfucker here that tells you can't do it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And quick question, Coach. So, the gym is in Downey, but where did you grow up? Where was kind of your shout out to
It was like
Cudahy.
Cudahy, Bell Gardens area. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
We do too, right?
I live all around.
Mhm.
Every
Yeah.
city around Downey, I live.
There you go. So he knows my pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in, kid probably from like kinder to I think 7 or 8 Bell Gardens, and the rest was just all Cudahy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you go to
Cudahy
Bell?
until I was in my late teens.
Did you go to Bell or did you go to ELC?
I went to ELC for elementary, and then I went to Bell
Oh.
for high school.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
because I guess
Okay.
ELC at the time was 1 through senior.
They still are.
Are they?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh,
It's still
shit.
1 through senior.
That's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Isn't that nuts? You'd be like, you'd be walking around trying to be cool. You see fucking bunch of 2-year-olds running around. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
Well, not even that. Can you
You
imagine,
wouldn't
like,
be able to smoke in the locker all cool. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck,
Like,
there's
fuck,
kids here.
kids here. I feel bad.
So you went to ELC? Oh, okay, cool. So you went to
Yeah.
ELC from elementary to middle school, and then you said you went to Bell?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Did you play any sports?
Well, while I was in school, we used to like play. That's the thing. Like PE back then when I was younger. I'm sounding all old and shit. But, we actually played. So anything they told us to play, we play it. Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, everything. So I was always kind of pretty good at anything. Just trying anything was always my thing. So.
Okay.
And also playing outside. I used to play outside a lot with my neighbors.
Right.
So that's how you get.
You guys were active.
Yeah. Constantly. Yeah.
And did you guys...
But never playing any sports.
Okay.
Question.
So you never... well, you never participated in the school sports.
It's not that I didn't want to. I don't know. It's just
You
when you
just
don't
did it,
really have
yeah.
information available, and there's certain. How can I explain it? The way we grew up, it's we had my dad was rest in peace, was thinking about something else and doing other things, right? So
Got you.
the whole nurturing that part of, hey, you should join a sport and stuff like that kind of wasn't
there?
wasn't
Okay.
there, yeah. But fuck, now that I think about it, I would have been a beast. But
Well, you never... It's like you said, the lack of information. You don't know...
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. So...
Exactly. So that's kind of, or as a coach, you kind of bring that in there too. Is like,
Yeah.
try to get as much information as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm still feel like a retard, and I still feel like I don't know shit. And this is me doing this shit already 20 years.
Yeah.
So
But
it's,
you're still learning.
Yeah, it's you're never gonna stop learning. Every time I develop a new strategy or fight camp for whoever, I'm always learning different steps, or maybe these are more what is it more easier to execute than these other steps or other style. Yeah, so it's just you kind of start putting everything together.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so how did... I know we had an outside perspective of like, your journey into fighting, but for, you personally, how did fighting get introduced to you? Were you already just watching the sport, or were you...
No, fighting got introduced to me in a young age. when I was a little kid.
Okay.
I don't know if you. I mean, you know my son Liam, right?
Yeah.
You know how he's all happy-go-lucky. Well, I was the same way.
Oh.
Probably 5 times worse. Yeah.
Just a squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
Squirrel off
Happy
the walls.
kid, you know what I'm saying? Happy kid. Innocent conscious, you know. So,
Thank you.
yeah, dude, it was a lot of bullying, especially like and like Cudahy, all that shit. It's all fucking, you know. At the end of the day, let's say it's just poorer kids, you know. Poorer kids equals more fighting, more survival, more pecking order.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was rough, and so I started like learning real quick, you know.
Okay.
So got my ass beat millions of times. It is what it is. It gets a little tough, makes you more tough skinned, you know. So
No, I understand.
it's a learning process.
I remember.
I don't wish it for anybody though.
No, of course
it's
not.
terrible.
Of course not.
But you
learn.
You get those cards and you play them, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you can do, right? Can't bitch about it.
No,
It does suck.
I relate to you on that part because I remember I was also the same way. Like I was very gullible, very I was just you're a child. You have an innocent mind, you know. And I remember getting into wanting to do martial arts because of that, because I had bullies too.
Yeah.
So that's where it broke a lot of barriers too, because it wasn't just me learning how to fight. It was me learning how to talk to people, because that's how innocent I was too. I was a shy boy, put it that way. But being able to talk to other people and not feeling all closed up and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But so you got introduced to fighting as a kid from that point or that perspective,
from
right?
That perspective,
Yeah.
As far as fighting, I was already kind of programmed in that way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like the UFC. It was cool when it first started. People kicking their teeth out or whatever. That was cool. But at the end of the day, there should be some rules, to make it more of a sport instead of just seeing a couple of bums just fucking wrestle it out.
What do they call that shit? What was it? Bum fights?
Yeah.
But you got introduced to it as an adult later. Was it something that you wanted to jump into, or you were just around it?
No. I was just a fan.
Okay.
Right. I was a fan, and just like I said, just never had really any guidance in that perspective to do anything physically or whatever. Right. Just I was a fan, and we used to fight in the street a lot, but that's about it. So that kind of fueled that interest, especially when the Pride days. Once the Pride started taking over, it's all soccer kicks and stomps and stuff like that. Like that shit was exciting to me. Like the MMA wrestling, constant grappling gets a little sour sometimes, especially when they stall. So for me, the striking was always the best.
Yeah, brawling.
Yeah, because that's all I would remember seeing, and that's what I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very exciting, and then I just got into it. Just started watching them, then full blown, Pride fan. Not for the month of June, but I was kidding. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like Pride. When we talked about Pride, we talked about fucking Fedor and fucking Crow Cop, not fucking what's going on over here.
Now it's a different Pride. Now we celebrate June in a different way.
Happier way. But yeah, so I just became a fan, and it was interesting. I love the movements. I love the strikes, the kicking. Because that you wouldn't see in the UFC. You wouldn't see like dynamic kicks. You would just see more like low kicks, and that's about it. Especially Marco Ruas. He was a good low kicker. Threw fucking kicks like a beast. For MMA, fuck, absolutely. But you would see that. Whereas Pride, you would see more style, more head kicks, more teeps to the face, even before I even knew what a teep to the face was. So you would see more of that. So that's kind of where I got more to be a fan, because you just see the art better.
Now you started delving in the information itself,
Yes.
So like you're looking at like technique and how to actually do those, kicks and punches and like striking in general.
Exactly.
So, and at what point did you decide to go into a gym and start training?
Well, there is funny that you asked. There's this team that I used to follow. They were called Shoot the Box.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that was one of my favorite camps to watch. They were gonna have like this signing thing, like an autograph thing, and it used to be called Downey Acura.
Okay.
Yeah, but now it's Downey something.
It's
Some
Downey.
car, a Nissan place, I think.
Oh,
And so, yeah, yeah,
okay. Got you.
So yeah, so they had a signing, and we went over there, got some signatures, talked to a couple of fighters, whatever, and what happened? One of the coaches just kind of looks at me. He's like, "Hey, why don't you train?" I was like, "You're right. Why don't I?"
Yeah.
And that literally kicked
Shit,
off
that's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah, I started training in L.A. and Huntington Beach, freaking Long Beach, and then started my own shit here now in Downey. You know, so, well, not here. Here's great.
And
Downey, yeah.
and throughout your time training at these gyms, like, did you get to meet people who were already in like pro fighting or amateur fighting?
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. I mean, there was what was it? Master Rafael Cordero,
Mhm.
the main dog of King's MMA, I think it is now.
Mhm.
Who else? Shit. Got Shogun. Got to meet him.
Oh, for real?
Vandalay.
Oh, shit.
The Cyborgs, very nice people, extremely nice people. Who else? Evan Tanner, rest in peace. That was an old school UFC fighter.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more of that time.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I couldn't even tell you who's in the UFC or not, and not much of a fan.
Yeah.
More of a one championship fan, more of a
It's different now.
Roger Madon fan.
Yeah.
Fan. Yeah.
It's way different now.
Mm.
And I mean, obviously, you got to, you like that because it's geared more towards of what you are delving into every day. I mean, you not only train, you teach Muay Thai, so
Mhm.
obviously you're sticking with something that's like that you really like.
Yeah.
So and the fight promotions have changed a lot too, and it's not as exciting anymore. It's weird. I rather watch one championship promotions rather than UFC now, because to give out these fights and these title fights for free on YouTube is insane. Like,
Right?
these guys are
Shit.
like going at it. They're
Yeah.
brawling, but
Yeah.
it's really nice too, though.
Their viewership is way more than
Yeah.
than here. It's like in the billions, you know. They're known very very well. It's funny that you say that because before, when I used to go to Thailand, it was easy to buy tickets
Mm-hmm.
to go see the shows.
Now it's hard,
like,
huh?
Yeah, they sell out. I was like, what the hell? And now they're selling out, and now instead of us getting the cool seats, like, you know, now we're fucking up in the nosebleeds, and not purposely, you know. So it's kicked off quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's changed in the past 2 years, just to speak of how fast it's grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you opened up the gym, I know that it first started as like a mix between MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Were you already traveling to Thailand during that time, or did you kind of make your switch and then started going to Thailand?
No, at that time we were just practicing what we were practicing, which is, you know, what I learned throughout the years, and then I was focusing actually more on jiu-jitsu because I was initially thinking about just maybe doing MMA, you know, because it wasn't too decided, but at the same time, you know, I came from a MMA gym,
Mm-hmm.
so I was kind of trying to mirror that success, you know what I'm saying? So
Got you. Okay.
I was thinking, well, maybe I do need a BJJ coach, and fortunately, I did have a very good one. The first one that I employed, his name was Omar DeLuca.
Okay.
My first BJJ coach. I reached blue belt with him, and man, let me tell you, old school as fuck. Just the way I love it, you know, just drilling, just key locking, Americanas, all that stuff, just fun stuff, you know, just over and over and over, and eventually I got pretty good at it. And so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You developed all that muscle memory.
Yeah, so was doing that. I actually did it 4 years straight until I got my purple belt, and after that, just kind of went back to my first love of Muay Thai. You know?
Of course.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, BJJ is fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to watch. Well, sometimes, you know, if it's executed correctly and you know what you're looking at, it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. Yep.
Yeah, but if not, I mean, some motherfuckers could be boring as shit. Why? Because they don't take no risk. I think high risk, high reward all the time. You know, that's just the way I like to live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to just be just there and we'll see. No, it's like it's either you do or you don't. So you got to act on it, and that's the way I feel.
And the switch to Muay Thai, what kind of inspired it? What made you want to just start strictly doing Muay Thai? within the gym?
Well, like I said, when we were practicing the technique that I learned, the first one throughout the years, we started developing champions there in house. And so one of my kids, earlier kids that used to train with me, his name was Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
He started developing quick.
For the maniacs.
Really, really fast. And like I said, like when you're not being coached anymore, it's harder to come up with ideas of what to coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when you need more information. So luckily, we had we continued training. He continued winning until he finally got invited to IFMA.
Oh.
Which is one of the biggest Muay Thai organizations known worldwide.
Gotcha.
Right? They wanted him to fight in Bangkok. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it was a big deal, and especially for me, like I was just in it for the passion and everything.
Yeah.
It ended up just blowing up like super quick. I'm talking about like in 2 years.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, imagine like you open a gym, you figure I don't know, it takes about to develop somebody about properly, consistently from beginner to somewhat intermediate. I would say 3 to 4 years.
You're right.
Solid work, fights, and all that. And then after, they progress pretty fast. Especially the more fights, the more experience. Win or lose, that's that whole stupid shit about here is that, oh, right here you always have to win. It doesn't make any sense. It's not practical. It's not real. You're going to lose eventually.
Right.
There's too many weapons in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you miss one step, that's it.
But yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
So it's a game. It's a game of a high level chess. And you always got to be one step above. That's why I tell my students a lot. Don't just throw just to throw.
Yeah.
Set something up to throw.
Yeah, because it ends quickly if you just go in there
so
like
you're
that.
Just throwing and hoping for the best. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy too, because you're probably you're opening the gym, and obviously your goal is to train fighters, but you're probably not thinking at that very time, like it's not like you knew tomorrow you were gonna go to Thailand. You know?
Well, yeah.
So like
crap, I forgot about
no,
that.
so it's crazy just thinking about that too. Like you're sitting there and you're like, oh shit, we're going to Bangkok now. Like,
yeah.
how was after you doing like the fights there in did you realize that you had to start learning more, and like because you go to seminars obviously in
Right.
in Thailand. So what kind of gave you the inspiration to start doing that more? Like, did you realize after seeing these fights, like, oh shit, like maybe I should come back and ask for more mentorship?
No,
or
absolutely, yeah. That knowledge never ends, As a matter of fact, excuse me, I trained that time at the Yokkao gym before it got too popular, and too crazy.
Uh-huh.
In 2018 there, with Manachai and Senchai was around there too, goofing off as usual. But yeah, and I noticed, there was a lot I still needed to learn, a whole lot, So that's why to this day I feel like I don't know enough.
Right.
And it's like I said, it's hard to come up with things when you're not being taught on a constant. So this is when it's part of the job. You need to seek knowledge.
Right.
You're as good as your value comes from the knowledge that you have. You have no knowledge, you have no value. So yeah.
And you're a person too of like, so like getting your character down, you're the person to want to go and seek that. You're like, well, if I don't know, I'm going to go find out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Like you're a doer. Yeah. So when you wanted to go into those mentorships, did you personally go up and start asking around, like, how can I come back and start like getting more knowledge about this? And like, do you guys have any seminars that go on here type thing? Like, did you personally go up to coaches, or did people approach you and tell you like, hey, you should come to this program we have like coming 3 months later? Like how does one get into finding out more knowledge like that?
Talking to people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, you ask questions, you get answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As soon as I got there, first things first, we do have a fucking phone, guys. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Right? You can just Google the shit. Where's this gym? And it pops up right for you, So that's the first one. And then the second one is just talk to people.
Cool.
Right? You start making connections by how asking questions, talking to people, even if it sounds outlandish. You know,
Right.
you start asking shit, people respond to it, especially in different cultures. Here, where I don't know, for some reason, you ask somebody a question and either they get offended or they don't.
It's very
You know,
gatekeeper.
it's a you're very like exactly very gay culture, walking around fucking eggshells and everybody's fucking
Yeah.
stupid feelings. You know, whereas when you go abroad, they things are in a different perspective. Why? Because they don't see it in a social way. They
Yep.
see it more in a survival way. You know, because they're
Mm.
about survival, not about nonsense. You know, so when you ask them questions, they're very direct, and you're very direct with them, and they'll help you the best way they can.
Yeah.
That's in their culture, right? So the more you talk, obviously, the more connections you made. Just this one time when I was getting a certification for the WBC. I was in Thailand.
That's crazy, man.
In Hua Hin, Thailand. It was funny too.
WBC.
I was in Hua Hin, Thailand, and we had done the seminars, and I was getting certification, all that stuff. By all that stuff, meaning I got my my ring. What is it? A referee or ring? Fuck, I can't even think right now. My yeah, the official certification.
The official certifications. Okay.
Yeah, so I got
Gotcha.
my official certification in the WBC and my trainer's certification.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so they're both signed by the Thai Royal Army, so it's
That's
legit
fucking
shit. You know?
nuts.
And
That's crazy.
it's funny because that night they had like a little party thing, whatever, and they were watching the fights. And I decided just to sit back because I was freaking tired,
Right.
you know, from the traveling. It is what is it?
Like 16
a
hours.
day, basically a day of fucking flight.
Ugh.
And so when I arrived, it was what was it? 6 in the morning. I had to be at the seminar at 9. So
Fuck.
yeah, so it was a rough one. But it was a lot of fun, and like I said, that night, you know, there's a cool party. We were just drinking, whatever, and I was just hanging out, watching the fights, and then like one of the waiters, Thai guy, we started talking. He's like, "Hey, let's make some bets, just fucking around, you know. I'll bet you, blah blah blah." You know, I obviously wasn't gonna take his money, but you know, I was just fucking with him, you know, just for
All
tips
in the
and
fun.
and on the fun, you know. And so
Yeah.
we're betting on fights or whatever, and he's like, "You're a good guy, blah blah blah," right? After that, he goes over to a table and starts talking to these people. Like, there were a bunch of people. I wasn't really paying attention, and they waved me over. I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" So I go over. Guess who it is? It's the Thai Royal Army.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Yeah. It was crazy.
They just wanted you to kick it with them.
They just wanted me to. They're like, "Hey, come over, come sit down, hang out." I was like, "What?" I was literally surrounded by generals and colonels and stuff, and I was in my freaking tie shorts. Tie shorts and sneakers. You know, and it was crazy. And we just started yapping. We all got drunk. They drove me back to my hotel. It was cool, you know. So, and I got to meet the promoter of, at the time, I think he still is. I hope he still is. His name is Kai. He promotes fights for Lumpini Stadium.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so
Damn.
he gave me his contact number and all. He's like, yeah, because I told him what I do. He's like, yeah, anytime you have any fighters that come international, yeah, I got you. He's like, just give me a call. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Phone's legit, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool because talking about you too, because you're a very outgoing person. So I can only imagine like how cool that fucking night must have been too, just kicking it with those guys.
Yeah, it's pretty legendary. Legendary. Yeah.
And
a lot of whiskey.
I bet.
Yeah.
And what's the times that you've been over there? So like for people who don't know, you know, Thai boxing that's their life over there, and it's not only how you make a living, but you know it's what they use in army tactics. It's what they use in just survival. You know, kids are fighting from like the ages of what, like 6 even sometimes. Like they're like actually fighting.
It's 8.
8 now, right?
It used to be.
Used to be
at a
different, yeah.
younger age. In some rural, you know,
Areas.
farm areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they do have it, but
And
it's not.
did you see the same type of quote? Because I heard like you can actually just go to a bar and you can fight your homie, like right there. Like you can, there's a ring there and you can fight for like a free drink or something like that.
It was like in the islands. I've been mostly just in the cities.
Gotcha.
In the beach cities, but not the islands. But I've heard about it. You know, yeah, like you can just pay somebody a couple bucks and just fight, or fuck that. You know, like somebody has to pay me for me to fight. Like, shit.
But did you see like that was like an actual thing happening in the city too? Like there was fights all the not.
I mean,
like
and
ring fights.
when you're in Bangkok, it's
Yeah.
a lot of ring fights.
There you go,
Absolutely
yeah.
good ring fights. So the last time I went, actually, we got to see Pech Morakat.
Oh shit. Okay.
At Rajamadan. So it was just the technique, just watching him strike was just beautiful.
Yeah.
That's that high level Muay Thai. Just it's a thing to watch.
Yeah.
And the beer was free. They had free flow beer. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
I was like, what the hell? Like, wait, I don't have to buy it? Like, nope. So, and then for some fucking reason, people are very how can I say, non-tippish, right? So there's people they don't tip anybody. So
that's fucked up.
me, I'm just tipping the Thais, and they're like bringing me all kinds of beers and getting me more intoxicated than I should be.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But it's like, it's only like $3 or $5 that you're tipping them, and and then you get treated better, and people like you. So
some people don't tip.
that's what I'm saying. People have to understand that when you go to other countries, you gotta help them out, especially knowing what they're going through.
Yeah, exactly.
Tip here, tip there, and that's like I said. That's how you open links, and maybe this guy knows what's up. Like, hey, can you know or something? Any type of information you need, they can find it for you.
Yeah.
Why? Because you start talking to them. But if you're all fucking dickhead that doesn't, you're never gonna prosper in life. You know? I guess it's karma.
You kind of just you stay stagnant, or you go slower in your progress because you're just not making the effort really to like gain more information from people, and by simply being nice too.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, just don't be a dick.
Don't be a fucking dick.
Don't be a dick.
And so, damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm fucking high as fuck too. Shit. What I was gonna mention too. So, you're doing these seminars and everything. So now, 10 years into your experience with the gym and everything, are there any plans of, do you want to expand to somewhere different, like later in the future, just to find more people? Or do you feel like it's just you still having a scout, like for people to come in, into the gym? Like,
yeah.
are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, of course, if this is my legacy and I want to keep it going, so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of being selective because I know how I am, and I know I'm not gonna be happy if I get subpar.
Okay.
Like me, I want well, not even perfection. I would just say more consistency.
Yeah. Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can be a great coach, but then start losing your consistency, and then you're not so great after that. So it goes both ways. If you're not consistent with your training, well, shit, guess what's gonna happen? So, or you're not consistent with your coaching, the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start forgetting, believe it or not, especially with all the modern distractions out there.
Yeah.
It's too much. So retaining knowledge and applying it is difficult. People need to stay off their phones so much.
Yeah. Well, that's what kind of kills your it kills your attention.
Yes.
Kills your attention, and you can't retain that information as much because you're brain rotting every day.
Yeah. They're trying to sell you something, or you're trying to sell something, so it becomes a high for you, and some people like the likes, some people like, just a false reality. And all it does, it just slows. I think it slows you cognitively. You're like, what am I gonna do? I think I'm fucking cognitively slow right now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just put the phone down and train, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And what do you recommend to people that because the past episodes where I talk about the gym, I kind of push the point of like people.
I'm tired of talking about the gym. How about we talk about me?
Oh, Papa Cobra. Actually, you know what? I'll ask you this question, and I actually want to bring up a random fact that not a lot of people know about you, so
shit.
it's cool.
Shit.
But what would you tell people who actually want to go try out the gym itself? Like, do you guys offer a free class?
You know what I would tell them? Stop being a bitch. Get your ass up and go fucking train.
Go train, dog.
Stop making excuses. Just get up, bro.
Shout out to R&R Clothing. Just go outside.
Yeah, literally just open the door. That's all you have to do. I'll take care of the rest. You're shy, I'll talk to you. If you're an asshole, get out. Other than that, you're fucking welcome. Like shit. Like, a lot of people make a huge deal because they see motherfuckers hitting each other. But at the end of the day, like, they're only hitting each other because they know where to hit.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to start that way. You start slow. You know, work the steps, work the technique, and then if you feel like you need a little bit more of a challenge, then go for it. If not, then who cares?
Right.
You know, just learn how to defend yourself. Get in shape. Get coordination. Believe it or not. You know, like fuck. I seen some people that literally just looked like a fucking gazelle just popped out of a fucking room. You know, I was like, jeez. Like, get your legs together, guys. Like, or the biggest fucking pet peeve of mine is not knowing your lefts and rights. I'm like, the fuck?
Shout out Big Junior.
I'm like, your left.
Oh, fuck.
Right elbow. Like, fuck.
That is my left.
I'm like, fuck. Killing me. You know, it's other than that, you know, don't be a dick. Come train.
Come train. And a random fact that I wanted to bring up, which is pretty cool. So, you know, a lot of people have. I have a shitload of hobbies, from fucking singing to fucking networking to fucking dancing to doing Muay Thai, all the shit. For yourself, you had another hobby and passion too, which was you were a singer in a punk band, right?
Yeah, it's called the Cobras. Believe it or not.
And a lot of people had the actual Cobra like tatted on them and everything too.
Shirts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
How many years did you guys run with that?
Fuck. Since I think it was my last show was probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh shit.
So yeah, that's fairly recent, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty recent.
Yeah,
that was right before
from
COVID.
My teens to then, so it was a pretty wild ride. It wasn't really consistent ride, but you know.
And a lot of these guys ended up training at the gym too, right?
Some of them, yeah. Couple of them were naysayers, you know, but
the fuck.
It happens, you know. People see you in a different light and don't think you could change or do something different.
That and I don't think they don't have the point of view that you have. You know, like you felt like you can do it.
Yeah.
Maybe some people just don't feel like they can, or they're scared, or it's foreign to them. Like they don't.
Shout out to the sponsor. Get out the door.
Yeah, go outside. R&R clothing. Go outside.
For real as fuck.
That's a trip though, because I still trip out on like, dude. I mean, even people who are older than me, I've seen them like still have a mentality like that, and it trips me out. So I like coming around, you know, groups that, you know, we're all not perfect, but we're all learning at the end of the day, and we're all going through this human experience together. Like, we're here walking on the same fucking earth. Yeah. So why not try to build each other and elevate each other into a different light, and kind of keep people to where they can keep exploring these opportunities and going out and talking to people or making new connections. Like, it's all in the spirit of having fun at the end of the day with your life.
Yeah. So
you get to meet people that are going to make you feel happy too. You know,
exactly.
I met this gym and they made me. Haven't felt this confident in my life in general, and coming to this gym has kind of brought me back to that space where I used to train as a kid, and kind of bring that back into my adulthood and have that. You know, I'm happy now because I have that with me. So
speaking of confidence,
yes,
it's funny that you say that because all we do is roast each other.
Yeah, and that's the perfect fucking thing. Roast your fucking homies, dog. We call him Old Man Cobra, and he gets pissed off at us. He's like, jerks. But it's all about having fun at the end of the day. That's it. You're experiencing all this shit together. And Coach, like I said, you know, I really want to bring you up here because you are you're an example of like what I admire a lot too of being a doer. See that guy? We're about to party, dog.
That guy's having a good old time.
And I'm admired by that because, you know, I love your character in general, and you've been a great friend in general, making me, you know, feel positive about myself, but in just being fucking cool. So it's a nice example to have from yourself, you know, especially because people get intimidated by fighters or like people who are just very, you know, straightforward with things. So it's nice to get to break bread with people like that.
Exactly.
Because we're all walking on the same earth. Just go outside. You'll meet the same type of people. And it doesn't matter if they look like they're intimidating or you feel like they might be. Just go and talk to people. You would be so surprised in who you get to run into.
Exactly. Or if they're attractive.
They're attractive. Like me and Coach found each other attractive at some point, but then we were like, we can't do this anymore. We're at the gym now.
Yeah, just talk to people.
That's it.
That's all you have to do is just talk to people. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
So just say hi, share a little conversation, and some doors open, some don't.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Well, I'm excited to see the progress of the gym, coach, and I'm really excited to see, you know, your goals come to fruition too later in the future,
Yeah.
or maybe even tomorrow. Who knows?
My goals are to fit that wall that we have there full of belts.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm not done yet. So
There's gonna be a lot of hard work to come.
more work to come. But when you love something,
You don't
it's not
stop.
work.
Yeah,
It's not work.
it's your passion.
It's
It's
passion. So, but passion does get a little tiring, especially now that I'm like 40. I'm like,
like
feel like
fuck.
I'm falling apart. Oh God.
Yeah, well, it's all the years of you just, you know, you being in the culture though.
Yeah,
You know?
like yesterday I had a session with Rafa. Pobrecito. Rafa's one of my fighters. He has a fight coming up on the 19th for WCK Muay Thai, and
Which is in Long Beach.
which is in Long Beach. So
Yeah.
buy tickets.
Buy tickets.
Buy tickets, support Rafa. But I feel bad, you know. I feel bad that I have to go hard on him, you know, especially when I'm holding the pads. But it's reality. If you don't
Yeah.
prepare yourself for that battle, then you're in for it. You know, so it's just like anything else. You don't have to be a fighter. You just got to prepare for everything. What is a fighter, right? If somebody's a fighter that doesn't give up, whether it's through school, through work, whatever, put your shit straight, keep working, keep at it.
Yeah.
And stay disciplined.
Exactly. Yeah, but there you have it, guys. We have the amazing Isaias Cobra, King Cobra himself, to come through and kick it on the EleFaded podcast. Once again, guys, we have Glugar. All right, I'm about to roll this blunt again. I'm gonna get you fucking faded, puppy. we're gonna have you fucking play softball. You're gonna be running to third base instead of first.
Shit.
We got Glugar. All right, make sure you guys roll your joints and your blunts with Glugar. Stop spitting in them. Stop giving people herpes. It's not fun. They're
Or
gonna.
is it?
Or is it? Shout out to R&R Clothing once again, guys. Go outside. All right, R&R Clothing slogan, and we appreciate you guys for coming through. EleFaded episode 8 with Richard Luis and Isaias Cobra. See you guys later. Peace. You guys want to smoke again, puppy? Perfect.